Hey everybody, it's Troy. We are still reeling from the horrifying and heartbreaking news coming out of Nashville, Tennessee about a shooting at a elementary school. There are three confirmed children dead and two adults dead that we know about at this time. Absolutely horrific. Yet another school shooting in the United States of America. The 17th school shooting in 2023, 17th school shooting this year. Predictably, the right wing in this country, the garbage right, the MAGA fascists are taking to Twitter, and they've already found a scapegoat. Nothing about the shooter's identity has yet been confirmed, but early reports are that the shooter is a trans individual. The garbage right, the MAGA fascists, wasting no time taking to Twitter to blame the shooting on trans people. Calling trans people violent, calling trans a mental health issue. But predictably, the worst of the worst of the worst is Marjorie Taylor Greene tweeting this out earlier. How much hormones like testosterone and medications for mental illness was the transgender Nashville school shooter taking? Everyone can stop blaming guns now. Marjorie Taylor Greene blaming not only transgenderism, trans people for this shooting, but also mental illness, and trying to say that being trans is some sort of mental illness. Just absolutely sick comments from Marjorie Taylor Greene. This might be the worst tweet she's ever sent out. This is absolutely disgusting. She is a soulless scumbag ghoul. All of these people are absolutely disgusting in their response to this shooting. Instead of having a common sense debate on gun laws in this country, what we can do to stop these violent incidents from occurring in a country where gun violence is now the leading cause of death among children and teenagers, we are not able to have even a serious conversation about the role that access to guns plays in these shootings because of these soulless ghouls and their freaky genocidal language about eliminating trans people, using trans people as scapegoats, using the LGBT community as a whole now as scapegoats for when incidents like these happen. If they really want to go down this road, if they really want to take into account the gender identity and the demographics of these shooters, we can absolutely play that game and show them how many times a mass shooter in this country has been a straight, cisgendered, heterosexual, white, conservative, Trump-supporting male. How many times that demographic goes on to participate in mass shootings in this country, if they really want to have a chat about the demographics of shooters and bring that into the conversation as to why these shootings are taking place. Tennessee is more focused on banning drag shows and gender affirming care, the state of Tennessee, than they are in addressing their gun violence issue. The prevalence of guns in this society. We have right-wing fascists in this country who are much more concerned about drag shows and CRT and wokeism. They talk a lot about wanting to protect our children from drag queens, but they're not doing anything to protect our children from guns. Guns, the leading killer of children and teens in the United States. This country has absolutely gone off the rails. Our children deserve so much better than this country. Our children deserve so much better than these types of representatives like Marjorie Taylor Greene spouting this filth on Twitter. They deserve so much more than government officials who will spend their time on TikTok bans and banning gender affirming therapy and banning drag shows rather than in the name of keeping them safe rather than actually going after gun violence, which is an absolute epidemic of tragic proportions that's taken way too many lives in this country and now has taken more children's lives. More American children are dead because of our refusal to do anything about the gun violence problem in this country. We have to do something. We've got to take our country back. It is clear that there is not enough happening at the government level to solve this problem. It may be incumbent upon the citizens taking to the streets and demanding action, walking out of work, walking out of school, demanding that we finally take this problem seriously and put an end to these mass shootings, to put an end to the epidemic of gun violence in this country. Look, if more guns were the answer, if more guns made people safe, if more guns equaled more gun safety, the United States would be one of the safest nations on the planet in terms of gun violence. There are more guns than people in the United States. If more guns was the solution, we would be fine. We would be one of the safest nations on earth for gun violence. As it happens, we're one of the most violent. We're in the top 5. We have more shooting deaths in this country than most other nations on the planet. So clearly more guns is not the answer. Every country has trans people. Every country has mental health issues. Every country has violent video games. Not every country is experiencing an epidemic of mass shootings, and particularly school shootings that are claiming the youngest and the innocent among us. You have a Second Amendment right to own a gun, but your Second Amendment right to own a gun does not supersede the right to security and safety and the right of a child to go to school without having to feel the fear of being killed in school, which should be a safe, protected place for our children. Marjorie Taylor Greene demonstrating, among others, demonstrating just what an absolute scumbag she truly is, and how ghoulish and terrible the MAGA right-wing fascist movement is in the United States, already looking to scapegoat and spread horrific language about the LGBTQ community and the trans community based on unconfirmed reports that a single mass shooter happened to be trans. Just absolutely horrifying state of affairs in this country. For MeidasTouch, this is Troy. Remember, smash that subscribe button to keep supporting independent media.